The first of the new Plastic Sisters is here.
Spiky Bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Baer from SpikyBits.com. We are checking out the new Sister Superior Novena, I think it's called, or maybe Novena. I don't know. But some would call them A, some would call them B. This is the limited slash exclusive slash heavily allocated miniature for the new Warhammer Day that's happening June 29th, 2019. If you're lucky, you can probably get your hands on one of these, although they are allocated. I think GW is going to put them on their website next week, I think they said. So either way, they should still be relatively easy to get slash affordable for the next couple of weeks. So if you miss out, hopefully you're still able to get one. Fingers crossed, right? So this is $35 for the, which is pretty much their standard character box set price that we've come to see over the years here. Now, when you open it up, it's going to come with that little tray that we first saw, I think, like Karn or Airmon way back in 2016. Open it up there, and there's a couple shots of it. Now, this was actually based on some artwork from their just a little basic clip art from back in the day. It's going to come with an instruction manual. I think this is a poster. We're about to fold that out, and the sprue for the miniature itself, and it is on a 32mm base. So we'll take a look at that here in a second. Folding out the little art print, you can see it's actually pretty big when you unfold it there. So it's roughly the size of a sheet of paper, a sheet of American paper. So about 8.5, a little bit bigger than 8.5 by 11. But either way, I mean, if you really need to slice it down on the side to frame it, you probably could. So it's a nice little art print, to be quite honest, and very unexpected in this box. Jumping over to the instructions here, we've got, well, what you would expect if you put together Celestine or any of her Yin Yang Gemini twins. Well, you might be used to this, but bringing in everybody on board, if you haven't picked up that box set, it's $60 from GW, and I'm sure it's still going to have a big part to play in the new Sisters Codex, which, if you haven't heard, is probably going to be coming out October, November-ish of 2019. So we still got a little bit of time, but there's still plenty of updates and things out there on Warhammer community. And of course, we put out a lot of just teasers and kind of breaking down, reading between the lines, and coming up with some pricing guesses from what we could tell from Games Workshop and some other stuff. But needless to say, the Squad of Sisters is probably going to be $60 from them, right on par with the Primaris pricing. We know this is, characters are probably $35. We know what Celestine goes for. Actually, I think Celestine's $55, but either way, I digress. So putting the model together, it's going to be a front and back kind of configuration here. Lots of computer slices happening here with the bolters and things. Not individual shoulder pads, but individual backpack and also head right there. So you could kind of switch it out. And then of course she's doing her little clip art pose that we just saw with holding the Sisters beads with the Inquisition symbol, because remember, they are the militant arm of the Ordo Hereticus, I believe. And then she goes on to the custom kind of diorama base here with a couple of, little candle braziers right there, and that's pretty cool. Going on to her rules, well, that's nothing to be seen here. We've seen this in the betas already, so and it's different languages, no points cost, so boom, there it is. That's pretty much all to be gleaned from the instructions. Now, sprue wise, there's a whole lot going on here. You can see that the front of the Sister Superior here is very well detailed, as you would expect, as along with the back right there. The base itself, definitely super customizable, very easy to paint, whether you use washes or contrast paints. Legs, I don't know, there might be some of those hidden computer slices that you might have to plastic putty a little bit, but it looks like for the most part it's jointed, although I'm a little worried about this back cloth kind of thing configuration right here. We'll see how this goes together. We'll get it all out here, and then there's the head right there. So we're going to take a minute, put this bad boy together, and see exactly how big it is and compare it to some of the other similar models out there. Okay, and there she is. So, well, long story short, she goes together pretty much as you would imagine. There are some undercuts there, as you can kind of see in the legs and stuff, but nothing crazy, nothing that you would probably have to patch with plastic putty or anything like that. So, kudos to GW. They've always been super good about the designs, and you can see right there in the back of the knees, on the inside of the knees is where those connect. So once you get it painted, you won't even notice that those gaps are right there. And that's pretty much everything. I mean, the front is gorgeous. So much detail on this miniature. Like, painting up sisters are going to take a lot of time, so definitely look at the different contrast paints out there so you can save a little bit. Might have to drill out the bolter a bit, but I mean, really, other than that, nice little accessories. The detail on the base is incredible once you start looking at it. Little fleur-de-lis and this symbol here, I'm not sure which of the militant houses that is, but it still looks pretty cool. And very dynamic kind of pose here that I'm sure we'll see a lot of folks playing with this. Depending on the armament and things, having a bolter, you might have to put like a, I don't know, like a power sword or something on here. Who knows? Really hard to say at this point, but I mean, model-wise, I think she looks really good. And it's kind of hard to see. I mean, I imagine this is a little bit bigger on your screen, but the face detail is there. It just might be a little bit harder to see. Perhaps I don't have enough light on it. There we go. There's a little bit. There was a little bit of a shadow in there, so you can see they did a really good job on the face. And that was one of the rumors to why we hadn't seen sisters in so long, was because of the plastic sculpting on the hair, which GW kind of seems to have nailed. In my opinion, it looks really good, and we saw that with some of the Necromunda stuff. It's almost like it was a test bed for this. Now, how does she compare to the first plastic sister of battle, which was Celestine? Well, she is about the same size, give or take. So once we get this down to about, if Celestine was standing up and she was standing up, I feel like they would be about the same size. So maybe Celestine isn't quite as detailed as a Sister Superior, but I mean, obviously this was sculpted and brought to market in 2016, so it's probably a year older than that. And of course, she was sculpted at some point this year, maybe early last year. So a few years have elapsed, and they have definitely a lot more going on at Games Workshop. How does she compare to some other miniatures? Well, there's a Deathcore of Krieg that we all know and love. We show him here on the channel a lot. And of course, a Primaris, which is also on a 25mm or 35mm, 32mm base. So the Primaris Marine is definitely bigger than the sister. If you put the sister flat on the base where she would normally be, that's probably more representative of both a human, non-superhuman Astartes, and also the female version of said human, because she is a little bit thinner. It's kind of not fair to scale that off the Death Corpsman. Well, I guess he is probably a little bit bigger, but the Forge World sculpt's a little bit smaller, probably, and a little bit more off scale than what the plastics, all uniform kind of scale type thing are now from Games Workshop. So all in all, that is the new Sister Superior exclusive limited edition Warhammer Day figure. We don't know if she's going to be re-released in the future, but perhaps if you are thinking about playing Sisters, now's the time to scoop her up, as she probably won't be available later on this year when the actual Sisters come out. So thank you very much for watching this unboxing and build of the new Sister Superior. Sisters of Battle Sister Superior for Warhammer 40k. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.